Everybody, welcome in. My name's Sean. I'm Fire of Life 2018, and you're here for today's viewer chat and chill. We do these every day at 9:30 to 10:30 on Eastern Standard Time over on the Twitch at Fire of Life 2018. So come check us out. If you're watching this on Twitch, I'm making these and I upload them over to the YouTube channel at Fire of Life 2018, where I play video games. I have garden tours. I have bike videos. I've got dog videos. I'm thinking about making some cooking videos. We might do that. I make fresh bread and stuff regularly, so I might do some of that. So let me know. Go check it out. Hit the likes and subscribes and follows for all the things that you enjoy. You can hit dislikes. If you don't like the stuff I make, hit dislike. That'll let me know you don't like it, and I won't make any more of it. But without your feedback, I will just continue to produce random stuff. So, that. These little viewer chat and chills are designed for that. If you have feedback that you want to specifically give me, you can just come on over and speak your mind. Our positive affirmation generation. A little behind. I am strong and determined. Our affirmation for the day. Hey HK, how's it going? Don't forget, he enumerates that we have many cool notes if you subscribe to the channel. And you can also just use whatever random emotes and make them pop up on the screen. I don't know why I love that so much, but I do. Thank you for pinning that, my friend. So how are you going to make your affirmation generation happen today? I am strong and determined. What are you strong and determined about today, folks? Be cool. Face your days with the appropriate amount of determination. And that is all of it. All the determination, all day, every day. Are the best you. Best you can be. What are you playing these days, HK? Must be something other than Final Fantasy. Although Dawn Shellbroker came out soon, didn't it? Ooh, also speaking of that, I forgot Manor Lords came out today. I might very well sink my life into some Manor Lords today. It's like a good game. Still in early access though, so who knows if it's actually. I apparently already put paper, a joint filler, and then forgot to put weed in it. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna play it today, probably. So look for that, but I don't know yet. It looks good. But I like those city builder games. So there's that. It is my genre, so I can't imagine why I wouldn't play. And I wish I knew why I liked city building games so much. Sorry, I should unmute that. Look at the wiggle on the camera. Be like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just beating my desk to death. It's fine. It's fine. That's why we can't have nice things. Ugh, and it looks like I didn't get this ground very well. You know, the art of smoking Mary Jane is an art. Sure. Like somebody referred to it in my gardening videos as Jamaican tomatoes, and I'm like, oh, I love that. I'm definitely referring to these as Jamaican tomatoes from now on. Just to brace yourself for that. The charity event was good. I assume. I just went over and ran a spreadsheet for them while they did it. Jamato. We had like our goal was $5,000, and that's you're a tiny chapter. This is not gonna burn. But oh well. But oh well. I know that I listened to my region's fundraising goals, and apparently we've already reached our fundraising goals for the quarter, which ends in June. So we're doing pretty good in our region for as far as people giving money. Well, I mean, the the organization that I work for has tons and tons of money. Like, they get a lot of corporate guilt. Like, they're the world's largest nonprofit organization. Therefore, they receive a lot of money from people who are just looking to assuage their guilt, like corporations and such, that, oh my god, we just stole billions of dollars from the American public. Let's give $10,000 to the Red Cross. That'll do it. That'll make us feel better. And I mean, I don't care where the money comes from. They're taking it to do good works. Tell people that you sold drugs and murdered a bunch of people, but here's the money that came from it. We would still take it. I mean, those acts have already happened. At least we can use the proceeds to do good works. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know how the organization feels about that, but I don't feel like they ask the questions of where it's from. I don't think that's an answer, because we don't care. We're using that to do good works. And that is literally all you can do. It's an annual thing, and last year I did the check for it as well. But it was the first time I'd ever been there before. We couldn't figure out how to make the sound system work. We couldn't figure out how to make the microphones work. Halfway through it, the presenter lost her paper, and she's like, oh, I've lost track of whatever was doing. And so then we got off of we were off track of the PowerPoint to which I was running. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. This year went a lot smoother. But I can't say that I had anything to do with that, because I had to take my dog to the groomer. So I was just there to hit the button, hit next. Like, that was totally my whole role for being there. But I often say, in the grand scheme of things, the effort adds up. Like, it takes a lot of people to help people in a disaster. And they do a lot of stupid things. I mean, like, somebody has to clean the restrooms. Somebody has to empty the trash. Somebody has to do the laundry. Somebody has to do the dishes. Somebody has to cook for those people. Somebody has to go get the food to cook for those people. Somebody has to find a kitchen to cook for those people. Somebody has to sweep the floors. Somebody has to make the beds. Somebody has to, you know, do all the little piddly things that everybody's like, I'm gonna go help people. And you think, wow, that's like doing CPR or like dragging people out of homes and stuff. And statistically speaking, it's cleaning toilets and emptying trash. And oh god, the amount of trash. Oh god, the amount of trash. Can't with the amount of trash. Can't. That's always been one of my big initiatives, is trying to get them to reduce how much trash. Hey buddy, dog wants to make an appearance. I don't think camera will show the dog. Hi buddy! You're on live cam. Poochie! Oh, look, it winked at you guys. Isn't he adorable? He's so cute. Look, he wants to shake hands. He's really like, give me food. Where's the food? And in case you're wondering, I have already given him a treat today. It's not that new. Just so you know. He just looks like he's starving to death. I swear I've fed him. I swear I've fed him. Dog cam. Doggy wants to be in the stream. Yeah, he's the bestest boy. He's so cute. Especially now that he's got now he's gotten trimmed. I posted a video on my YouTube yesterday of the before and after of his grooming. Like, he looks like a completely different dog. They probably shaved 30 pounds of hair off of him. I mean, we only groom him once a year, and it's at the hot part of summer. So like, once it's starting to get warm, we shave him off so he can survive the heat. But it's so funny. It brings out all his neck rolls and all his fat rolls. Like, he's such a fat boy. He's such a fat boy. I try really hard to not feed him overly much, but the neighbors feed him. And he's a farm dog, so he's kind of free range. I wouldn't say that he's wild, but he definitely goes over to the neighbors' houses. As long as he stays on this side of the street, he knows he's okay. Because I don't like him across the street. I think he got hit by a car once already, and he's still. And I don't know if that makes him like more aggressive or least aggressive. I don't know. But like when I was walking him down like our busy street yesterday to get him to the vet, I say busy street like it might be 2 cars an hour or something. Like, it's the busier street for my kind of world, and he wants to like run and bark at all the cars that are driving by. And you're like, but for what, bro? But for what? But for what? Do I need to get like a straight up dog cam? Like, he sits here the whole time. I could easily put camera the dog on. Don't want to watch the dog. I know it's a thing, and I love dogs. I often watch tons and tons of dog videos. I have hard times when dogs are getting hurt. I don't like that either. When they're, you know, it's kind of funny to watch them run into a screen door or a glass door or whatever, but they're like, oh, I hope he's okay. Oh. And we've seen them so many times. I mean, he's just sitting here staring at me like crazy. Rowdy the dog wants you to follow. Let's see, direct eye contact. Of course, he doesn't do it. Second, I'm not looking at him. He doesn't do it anymore. Right, give him the big puppy eyes so they'll follow, like, and subscribe. There. I need to work on that. I think at one point I had put the Discord camera on. Like, I forget that I can do that. Medically, it doesn't. I were to the voice channel. Turn on the camera. And slide into this channel. Self. That don't show video participants. Screen? Curses. Screen. There we go. I now have separate camera on stream. Damn it. This cool? Not cool. Make a channel point to show your bestest boy for 10 seconds. Ooh, I like that. Like, do you want to see the pet cam? I don't know, I feel like he's chewing on his foot now. Like, also the messy garage cam. Don't worry, I'm cleaning. And I want to point out that Plants like it messy. I just want to point that out. Plants like it messy. So I don't know if I'm gonna stand here and hold this all day. Probably unlikely. In case you're just joining us, the positive affirmation today is I am strong and determined. Make sure you put in the comments or in chat what you're strong and determined about. I'd love to hear it. I want to hear your life goals. I want to hear your successes. I want to hear your challenges. I care about people in general. I know that everybody out there is a person. And please remember when you're commenting on my videos that I am a person. I am a person with a very thick skin, so whatevs, but some of y'all are a little crazy and just give ridiculous feedback. I hate to think of what your life is like if you're giving feedback that's like, you suck. Stop making that. Who's like, that's not like good content. I mean, I get that, but if you're gonna give feedback, I would love to hear like real feedback. Like, what do you actually want to see? What about the content was it that you didn't care specifically for? I get it. I mean, statistically speaking, the vast majority of the people on the YouTube swipe away after about 5 seconds of this. Nobody watches these on the YouTube longer than like seconds of it. And Twitch doesn't give you the analytics that you would want. Like, Twitch doesn't tell me when or how long people watch. The matrices are different. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate everybody who shows up to any of these. We are trying to keep positive. Try to see things in the grand scheme of things. Even our setbacks are maybe somebody else's victories. Like, we often wonder why bad things happen to good people, and just sometimes the random number generator of life does not go your way, and that's okay, because it is a random number generator. For every crit you hit, you get a critical failure in the same number of times, like percentage-wise, anyway. So, take care of yourself, take care of others, be kind to one another. I really believe that what you put in the universe comes back to you tenfold, 100%. You put out evil, you do evil, you bad things, and bad things come back to you, and you do good things, and good things come back to you. That does not mean that every opportunity for a good thing to happen will it happen. Just know that your time is coming. If your random number generator didn't roll you a 20 this round, maybe next one, and disappointment. Dealing with life and stay alive. Stay alive is important, because one of my favorite sayings is definitely without breath with breath there is always hope for a better tomorrow. Today might suck, right now might suck, but literally in 5 years you're never gonna remember. Not even gonna know. Like, I think that's one of my favorite things about Facebook memories is when I go back and look at my like 20-year-old self posting stuff on Facebook, like it was the end of days, and I'm like, I literally don't even remember what that's about now. I am determined to stay alive so I can play Dawntrail. Is that the only reason? What would you do if they suddenly announced that the Final Fantasy is going out of business? Like, Dawntrail was just such an epic failure. They actually didn't even have the code completed yet, and they've been advertising it, and the owners of Final Fantasy are going to commit harakiri because they fucked up so badly, and Final Fantasy ends tomorrow. What happens? remembering your cringe self posting stuff 20 years ago. Yeah. I mean, when we were like just understanding what social media really was, like I'm super careful about the stuff that I post nowadays, but back in the day, no. And I think it's funny when people think that I run off at the mouth now. Like, people are like, I can't believe you just said that. And I'm like, I know what that is. I know what that means. I've thought that through and will be ready to accept the consequences of the actions that I just said. I thought so too. HK. And I mean, like, that's a very unlikely scenario. You're right. But especially the way Japanese culture is, I could see it. Like, they have this whole, like, success and failure situation. Like, where people are succeeding, they're good when they're doing everything they can be. But when you put so much pressure on someone to succeed, if they get to a point where you give them a goal that they physically can't reach, they can't tell you that because you put the emphasis on goal accomplishing. So I mean, you set a goal for them, like, hey, make this new expansion. And they're doing the same thing, putting goals on their employees that they don't have, and just expecting them to get done, but they're unrealistic, but nobody can tell you that because that would indicate failure. Like, what do you mean you can't do that? That means you failed, because you can't go, well, we need done. Like, whoa. And then it comes out at the end that nobody's done what they're supposed to be done, because they've been lying about it, being like, yeah, we said we could do it, but we can't. And now it's like a week before due date, and everybody's like, all right, turn in your stuff. And they're like, actually, we've been lying about that, and here's my letter of resignation. I commit harakiri, and then there's the I don't know if they still even do that in Japan anymore. I've always wanted to go to Japan. It is on my bucket list for wanting to go, but my culture is tainted by old movies. So forgive me out there if you're Japanese and I'm making fun of you, but I 100% revere your culture. I honestly think that's the honorable way. But I don't think you should build a culture where you can't tell people that that's an unrealistic goal. Just like what the day before devs did. I'm unfamiliar with that. The day before what? The day before dawn or whatever? I didn't know that this has actually happened somewhere. But believable. Very believable. Day before? Survival game? Oh yeah. The day before the refund. Launch day, extraction shooter, survival MMO. Apparently there's lots of memes about it, but is there an actual like press release? I guess I can show it here. It was a game the day before, the most wish-listed game ever on Steam. It was the biggest news in gaming for about a month earlier this year. I must have missed that. I was probably on deployment and not in that 30-day window. Oh, I feel like I did hear something about the Big Lebowski. So it's no longer available on Steam. The day before is now dead. Servers closed to players from today, January 22nd. Servers for the Day of the Dead, one of the most controversial catastrophic games in recent memory, shut down just 45 days after the game launched in early access. It's absolutely trash, and they charge full price for it. Publisher Montoya had signaled at the end of the day before with developer fantastically alleged close down. Last month, The Day Before Dead became no longer purchasable. Now, while those with The Day Before Dead still clinging to their hard drives can launch the game and create a character, IGM has verified that no servers appear upon search in any region. Last month, they said they would get a refund and regret to inform the development company has fantastic. Not even right. We regret to inform that the development company. Did they misspell that? Fantastic has officially, or is that just a different game? Has officially ceased operations, and as a result, The Day Before will be retired and the servers will be turned off on January 22nd, 2024. Wow. Strange series of events caused fans to grow more and more suspicious and concerned. Oh, that must have been the name of the gameplay. Was accused of ripping off other games like Division, Call of Duty, Grand Theft on separate occasions. For example, a trademark dispute complicate things. 7 months after it's promised, no more delays. They delayed again. This time indefinitely through its PC version. Players flagged that essentially nothing fantastic promised was actually in the game. Finally, just 4 days after launch, when the player count had dropped to 90%, The Day Before entered Steam's worst 10 games of all time. This is the one example why I don't pre-order it. Oh yeah, same. Talk about, I do not pre-order stuff. No way. No way. I mean, I'll buy an early access. Like, if you let me purchase it and play it, okay. I understand it's not done, it won't be perfect, but then I get to go back, like as you develop it, I get to go back and play it and see what you added. I have definitely bought games, and every time I go back, they're still not playable. I would say Star Citizen is a good example of that one, and that just might be because Star Citizen is too lifelike. I mean, they're trying to make Star Citizen very, very lifelike. Like the amount of time you spend traveling in a starship just sitting there is weird to me in that game. But that's built in. That's a feature, not a bug. You're supposed, like, that's why they made the cockpits cool. That's why they made the ships explorable. That's why they made like log out spaces, so you can like physically log yourself out in space, and then your ship will just like, so you can, you know, set yourself to a course to the ship and then go to bed and come back the next day, assuming it's been enough hours, and you would be at the planet. But if that's like, it literally takes 8 hours to get from one side of the universe to the other, like real game time. And you're like, oh wow, what a huge world! But then most of that is space. So like, you're just sitting in ship. Which is like real life, though, I mean, if you think about it. That's what space travel would be like right now, because we don't have faster than light travel, and it's going to be like put you in stasis, which they've actually done. Well, I haven't fact-checked that. I did see a video the other day that talks about that they have officially done a cryogenic freeze and thaw of a person. Simply. And that's huge for getting us into space early. If ever. I mean, do you think faster than light travel is actually possible? I mean, as far as we know, currently the fastest speed that we know of anything that goes is light, right? But I don't think we could even get up like a quarter of light speed at this point. So I mean, like, for us to Mars, I want to say 3-year journey. what happens to the human body in space over a year, we already know is not good. So, suspended animation of some kind is probably the only, like, viable solution. But who knows if that's ever gonna work. And I mean, like, is the possibility of faster than light speed even like a theoretical possibility in the universe? Like, we know that no things are impossible, but that's not true. Like, we know a lot of things in the universe that are, this is what happens every single solitary time no matter what. So if you can't go against that, then it is impossible. Like, it would be impossible for a human being to fly without mechanical aid, at least in our current technological situation. I hate to say that. Remember we talked about people coming back and watching these videos in, like, the future, and they're gonna be like, ha ha ha, this guy didn't even think faster than light was possible 100 years ago. I don't know if that is the case, but it just seems to me that faster than light might be a universal limiter. Which, again, would explain why we don't see aliens. I mean, because I've argued that the possibility that aliens exist is a foregone conclusion for me, because if life happened once, us, and the universe is infinite and expanding infinitely, then mathematically speaking, the conditions that have created life have to have happened elsewhere. And maybe I should even say sentience, because what we think of as life might not necessarily be life. Andy Weir wrote Project Hail Mary, great book. And it's fiction. His idea of the fiction is not what I would have thought. Like, he encounters a different life form, but it's not something that we would have considered life. Like, if we're looking at it from a telescope, considered it sentient. Because we didn't, you can't, from a telescope, you can't see little things moving around that detailed, and, they blend it in with the surface of the planet. They don't use lights. They can see in the dark. They, the things that we would identify as like, oh, there's lights in this planet, that must mean there's life. Why would the species that doesn't need light create light? They're made of not even carbon-based life forms. I think they're silicate in that one, and you're like, whoa. They don't breathe. They don't, but they move around. They think, they communicate. So that's sentience, but we wouldn't call it a life. It doesn't reproduce like we think. It doesn't breathe like we think. It has no heartbeat, no pulse, no brain activity that we would consider. Like, it's a completely different organic makeup than we would even understand, but still life. And there's the real argument, is what is life? Like, how do you quantify life? And I mean, like, I say sentience because it seems like that's the right idea to me, but then you're like, is a baby sentient? And I guess so, but it can't really communicate. And I would say communication is like a prerequisite for sentience. I guess babies do have some ability to communicate, because they cry and scream, wave and flail, like they are attempting to communicate, and then eventually learn to communicate. So I mean, like, how long do you have to observe something before you can determine whether it's sentient or not? What if that's what the other aliens are doing to us when you see all these UFO sightings and such? I don't know if you ever watched the John Oliver special on UFOs, but you should. Might make you think about life in general. I gotta say, it was interesting. Also, I did watch the Senate hearings that happened when they were talking about the pilots seeing strange things. But most of those pilots don't believe they're aliens. They think that it's some kind of like super advanced technology. It's why they're reporting it. Because they're like, look at this spear! And it's like a silver metallic-y spear that just kind of rotates around an F-150 that's flying at Mach 3. Like, that is some more technology than we imagine. So, like, I forget who said it, but any sufficiently advanced technology is akin to magic. If you don't understand it, you're just looking at it like, whoa. So these these fighter pilots are obviously sitting in this immense piece of technology that allows them to fly at super speeds around the planet, and then watch this little ball come up and whiz circles around them. They're obviously like freaked out, but they're not thinking, oh, that's an alien. They're thinking, uh-oh, China's got a new weapon, or uh-oh, Russia's got a new weapon, or uh-oh. That's what fighter pilots think. So I mean, but you can watch the footage. It's available on the National Security website, I'm sure. I feel like I now have to Google that too. Taking courtesy. I always get the wrong. So this video is entitled "Pentagon Shares Newly Declassified UFO Videos" from Fox News 5. That's an official website, right from New York. I guess anybody could create that, but I've seen these things on an official website. Like they really exist. Stigman, how's it going? Welcome in. Cute emotes. Talking about aliens. If you have an opinion, feel free. We are watching the official Pentagon released UFO videos, but we keep saying quantify. UFOs does not mean it's aliens. It's an unidentified flying object. And that is what these things are. Like, they don't move the way traditional aviation objects move. Did you see? There's a clip of President Jimmy Carter talking about he and 20 other men in their 20s standing around a schoolyard and watching some light above them move erratically in the sky. He's like, well, I definitely saw that, but I don't know what that is. So I mean, like, he was giving it a very frank, like, it happened, I witnessed, but I'm not gonna say it's aliens, because it could have been, like, I think all of us have the idea. You see something in the sky crazy like that, we see technology in a way that is baffling. Like, we know they come up with some crazy shit. So I could believe that's a weather balloon that somebody has put on 2 strings bouncing back and forth in the sky or something, or... And you don't know how far that's zoomed in. Like, is this thing in the stratosphere? Is it like, what are these little white dots? Middle East object? That was some kind of little... That's the sphere tracking whatever this is that's flying around. And that could be drones. I mean... There's brilliant people all over the world creating all kinds of things. So, don't close your mind. You never know what the real truth is. Until you see it with your own eyes, you touch it with your own hands, till you do your own experiments, you do your own fact-checking, till you verify with multiple sources, nothing is real. And even, sometimes you even find that out when you verify with multiple sources, and then we find out we didn't know what we didn't know. I've often told people in life that you are not informed enough to even understand what you don't know yet. And that's a hard one. It's a hard one. So we'll revisit our affirmation generation. We we are talking about I Am Strong and Determined. Make sure you put in the comments or the videos video comments or... See you, Silver. Have a good one. I don't know why that, like, my stuff disconnected for that didn't get to go up in Silver's lead. That days. Have a good day at work. Be safe. Safe. Now I've completely derailed my train of thought and have no idea what I was just talking about. Is this like these are the random stream of conscience viewers? It's random stream of conscience. I will put a video out today of a game. I'm doing a series on the YouTubes of I play in every game that I put in that I have in my Steam library. I'm going to play an hour of it, and then if you like it, subscribe it, I will play more. That was a lot of words just to say Dunning. I mean, I feel like that when you use a lot of words to explain something, it's the lowest common denominator. I assume that most people don't know what that is. That's Dunning. But you know what we do here is we learn stuff as Ravenclaw. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when someone overestimates their abilities or knowledge in a particular area. It is a type of cognitive basis and is named after Cornell University psychologist David Dunning and Justin Nuke. Psychological phenomenon that occurs when someone overestimates their abilities or knowledge in a particular area. That's a close one, but I'm not sure it's exactly the same thing. I'm thinking this person, I guess that's, I mean, like, it overestimates their abilities. But they don't even know what area they're talking about. Like, have you ever met somebody who's just so stupid that, and like, I say stupid as in uninformed. They're so uninformed that they don't even know that they're in the area. Like, it's along the lines, but maybe more specific. Often you see Dunning-Kruger effect when newly graduates their first job. Oh yeah, totally. Oh my god. I used to work for Journeys, the retail store company. They sell shoes. I'm not sure if you ever heard of them. But we often hired, like, 16-year-old kids. And it blew my mind what this 16-year-old kid could tell somebody twice their age that they thought they knew more than me. And you're just like, you don't even have a car. Talking about insurance. It's like, what? You don't know. I'm gonna head off. See you later. Okay, bye, HK. See you. Good night. Rest well. Nope, I'm across the pond and just got home. Nice. How far across the pond? Are you in Britain? In Europe? Which pond? Some America. There's pond on both sides. Could be in Asia, across that pond. Across the Pacific or the Atlantic. I have many a friend across the world. I worked for Habitat for Humanity when I lived in Hawaii for a while. I used to have exchange students. Well, I guess they were AmeriCorps. They're like international volunteer folk. And they would come over and help brother out. So I got to meet lots of people from lots of places. I had an international exchange student from Brazil in high school, so I've been blessed to have had the acquaintance of many unique nationalities in my life, and I think it makes me a better person for it. Not lesser, better. I've learned something from every one of them, but like, oh, I didn't know you could do that to this particular type of food. Whatever. Oh, I never thought about putting those two things together. Like, so many horizons were broadened. Danish. I do not know anyone from Dane? feel like Danish must be one of the Nordic countries now. There isn't still a country of Dane, is there? I feel like... Forgive my lack of European geography. I play EU4. Here I am thinking I'm good. Playing EU4, but it's 18th century. Not relevant. We make Lego. Nice. Nice. Is everything in Dane, like, made from Lego? That would be cool. I mean, because plastic's super... I've often wondered why they don't do that. Like, have you ever tried to knock over a Lego building once you've really put that thing in and logged it like that? Nah, man. You can really build those Lego things to last. I had a science teacher in high school built a Lego ball and then super glued it together and you could throw it around the room. Denmark. Why am I dumb? The Denmark people are considered Danish. Why are they not Denmarkians? Why are they Danish? I mean, like, there used to be a country, the Danes, right? Or it was an empire, or... The Danes. Again, Ravenclaw, I do love to learn. Doesn't mean I know it all. Sure. The second you think you know everything, somebody's gonna tell you something you didn't. It's because it's not spelled that way. Native Germany. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Beast Gamers, welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for being here. See you. Just hanging out, chit-chatting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more. I do these every day. Just hanging out, chit-chatting, talking about random stuff. Today was aliens. Talking about random aliens. Are you in the US or are you somewhere else? I know, I feel like it's very early for most folk in the US. Nobody gets up and watches Twitch first thing in the morning. Except for me. I'm like, how do you want to start your day? Twitching! Oh yeah, you're in the US too? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Good morning. We like to start our day strong. Our positive affirmation is, I am strong and determined. I'm encouraging everybody to put what they are strong and determined about in the chat and comments for a future. This will also be uploaded to my YouTube channel, Fire of Life 2018 over there too. Do garden videos, I do game let's plays. Hanging out with the Twitch stream. I only do it for an hour though, because I feel like after an hour, content starts to lag. I mean, I was on Twitch since 9. I use it as a podcast while I work. Ah, nice. That background. I'm usually listening to a podcast or an audiobook. Oh my god, Audible changed my life. Sponsor me, Audible. I feel like that ought to be an easy sponsorship to get, because I would do it for free books. Because I definitely buy a lot of books. I read science fiction, fantasy. Some of my favorite book series, The Iron Druid Chronicles. Amazing. Never read it. It's by Kevin Hearn. So good. I also love Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. I'm a Tolkien fan. I'm a super nerd. When I talk about Star Trek or Star Wars, I'm one of those super nerd. I often talk about U.S. politics. Is the choice right now is between Star Wars or Star Trek? Took his turn out of your mind. It does that sometimes. I feel like it did just get louder. I watched the first season of Stranger Things and then never really got into it. A lot of times the ones that are... like Star Trek is so over-dramatized that it's kind of funny, but I felt like the Stranger Things was... I don't know, maybe it was just too main culture-y for me. Finished the 4th yesterday. I have Netflix. There's a 4th season of it now? Jeez. I feel like after they revealed what the big monster was, everybody, it was kind of like, eh. Oftentimes, movies only keep me until they've revealed the twist. Once the twist is no longer like, oh, I don't know, like I now know what the twist is, I then lose a lot of interest. And I feel like I've watched so many movies in my life that I can often telegraph the ending. Like, I mean, you have to use story building elements to set up the ending. Like, if you just randomly out of left field says this is how it ended, you'd be M. Night Shyamalan. And we already give him hell. So I mean, like, I'm not mad at movies for like like for dropping those little key points. So then, like, I watched Inuyasha. That's, you might have to name some. I think I watched One Piece. I watched One Piece as well. He does make the best movies because they're so crazy. But I don't know. Sometimes the endings ruin them for me. Sometimes because it really needs to make sense for me. Otherwise, I feel like you just ruined the whole movie. Have you watched the new live-action one on Netflix? You can go take a piss and come back 15 minutes later, and it will make the same sense as if you stayed. I mean, right? Because he doesn't, like, a whole lot of stuff in the movie is just not relevant. It's like getting a math problem with extra information. You're like, wait, all that stuff you told me about the thing in the field, not really actually relevant. It was really the thing under the house. Oh. Alright. Alright. Was he that Sandra Bullock one? Bird something, where she couldn't see. She had the whole movie was her blind, and they never actually told you what they looked like. I was so pissed about that. Like, if I had wanted to imagine the ending, I would have read the book. I came to a movie to see the ending. The Julia Roberts movie, recently on Netflix, where like it's post-apocalyptic. I can't think of the name of that one either. Something about like they were us or they were with us or something of that sort. And they're forceps, and my dad had them for like his you're funny. My dad had them for his medical issues, and now I use them as like a stress reliever, like because they clamp. I have ADHD. Oftentimes I am fiddling with things. This is a fidget spinner, but that's a thing. I'm also a minimalist, because like, what do you do with one of these things? What do you do with it? Like, I hope I never have to use it. Oh my god. Like, I hope I never have the medical issues that I have to use it. And if I did, they would give you one from the hospital that was clean and sanitary and stabilized and whatever. So like, I'm gonna get a new one every time I need it anyway. So what do you do with all this crap? Once it's like, he's gone now. It's been gone for several years, no worries. But what do you do? Like all the stuff that's laying around from things that I'll never need or use. Right. So I might as well, I'm gonna squeeze it and unsqueeze it until it no longer pleases me. I will throw it. I often take these gum wrappers and just for whatever reason wrap it up and then just like wrap it around, open it. Suddenly that's energy. It's literally just something to keep my hands busy. Idle hands, the devil's playthings, and I play with all kinds. I mean, I could be classy. Needs like a roach clip. Could be that way. Totally do that. I'm sure I'd probably have some lady friends. Too afraid to get their fingernails dirty. F1 racing? I have seen it once or twice. I can't say that I follow it, but I appreciate a well-running engine. Even being a climate change activist. But I understand that they're totally getting better with that. I understand they've come out with electric form. I want to say that BMW has done that. Getting better at that too. But I will say, I have an electric bike, and that little where you hear a Prius rolling by, you don't think, ooh, that's an intimidating engine. But you hear an F-150 or something roll by, and it's like, oh. You support Red Bull Racing? That's the one where they do the crazy... they build their own cars and run them down the track and jump into lakes and stuff for fun. Or is there an actual Red Bull? I definitely support the fun one. I think if you want to go out there and make a fool of yourself for entertainment, you should. That's fun. I don't see any harm in that. And is it a sport now? What's your definition of sport? Like, is cheerleading a sport to you? Cheerleading's a sport, and so is Red Bull Racing. We're talking about the crazy one, right? Where they jump off of ramps and go around hay bales and stuff and see who can make the coolest car go fastest. I did Pinewood Derby when I was a kid in Boy Scouts, where you build a car and you race. That was fun. Definitely something entertaining. I could see why people do it. It's indeed fun. Again, I guess we should probably start wrapping up my stream because I only go for the hour and coming up on that. So let's... Yeah, I did Derby. That's cool stuff. I would do roller derby too if we had one around here. That's a great way to get your frustrations out. It's like, because nobody plays contact football anymore, so roller derby's the next best thing. Positive affirmation generation. I am strong and determined. Don't forget to set your goals, set your intentions, and move forward throughout your day with intention. So, be strong, be determined, whatever you do today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. I do this every day. All these things get uploaded to the YouTube, so if you miss it in the morning, you can catch it later in the day. I check your comments. I'm still one of those YouTubers that actively interacts with my community, so feel free. We also have a Discord that I announce all this stuff in, and all my videos are there. I'll put that in the chat. There's the YouTube. I think I messed that up. I did indeed. There you go. You don't have a license for Derby? I don't think you need a license for Derby. Oh, good. I'd still drive cars when they make me, but I own an electric bike, and I fully intend to never purchase another car ever again, because cars are bad for the environment. Like this whole American ideal that we all have to have a little steel bubble to carry us around in is a little crazy. Like, if we started using public transit more, they would put more money into it. We started using smaller cars, like get a little Mini. You can buy those for cheap. You can buy little electric Minis for like 10 grand. They do you just fine in most cities. Like, you want to run 5 miles an hour back forth to work. I also am anti-establishment, so I don't believe that the government should have to tell you whether you can or cannot buy the scooter. Now, you driving your mom's scooter? Getting there. And I think taking a bike seems like the best solution to both worlds. I live in rural America, and for me to get anywhere here on a bike, I'm in the middle of the road. Like, they don't have bike lanes, they don't have the infrastructure for that. And, so, I'm in the road. People drive by me and flip me off and honk horns and try to run me off the road and stuff. And I'm like, but you're the jerks here. Like, I'm saving the planet. I'm burning calories. I'm not costing myself any money. Like, cars have such hidden costs. Like, especially in my state, we have a whole bunch of extra fees. We're a commonwealth. So there's all kinds of fees and registrations and restrictions and environmental regulations, and like all these cars have all kinds of things, and you're like, you got to pay your car payment, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay gas, you got to pay maintenance, you got to pay all these fees. It's half your income goes towards the car. And I'm like, I've cut it out, and I'm like living my best life not having a car. Like, no, I can't just pick up and go at the drop of a hat. But I don't want to do that anyway. I have ADHD. I'm not that person. I have social anxiety. I'm not that person. You better plan. If you want me to be somewhere, I need to know at least a day ahead of time so I can A, find a ride, and B, emotionally prepared to be outside, like with people in front of stuff. Like, ugh, no sudden trips for me. I gotta have planning. I love a trip. You tell me to go somewhere, like I love to travel. I love to see new places. I love to be out in public, small doses of time, but not random. I'm not spontaneous. It never will be. No. And that's a great reason for me. Oh, can't go. Don't have a car. Womp womp. Can't just pick up and go like that. Gosh darn. But anybody who's still my friend at 42 is well aware of my limitations. So that is what that is. And when I lived in Hawaii, that really wasn't a problem. When you could easily just hop on a bike and go any old time in Hawaii. Like, they had bike infrastructure. You just hop on your bike and there's a bike lane. It wasn't like intimidating. You could often get places faster on your bike than you could if you drove, especially if you had to worry about parking. I was like, yeah, I don't have to worry about parking. I could just pull right up to the front door and clip it in and go in and get my stuff. Of course, the bike thieves were real. There was forever a million people trying to steal your bike. But people steal your cars too. So I'm pretty sure you can get insurance on your bike as well if you are worried about it stolen. But I'm definitely a fan. My electric bike changed my life. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel with me running it and stuff. Nice! Your first redeem. I like it. I think I'm gonna add some stuff. He just talked about that I should add points reduction, points where you get to see the puppy cam. Use channel points, you get to see the puppy cam. I do have a dog laying here behind me, who I featured earlier on the stream, so you could go back and check him out on the YouTube. It looks like, but I think I'm gonna add that later. Way to go, HK. All right, so we're over our hour, so it's been a real pleasure talking to everyone today. And we shall be back on the morrow, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time to 10:30 every day. And don't forget to check the YouTube channel and like, subscribe, and follow for more. Okay, bye everyone. Have a great day.